This is the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief, keeping you informed about the happenings in Annapolis and the area. Local news, local sports, local events, local opinion, and of course, local weather. The Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief starts now.
Good morning. It's Monday, January 20th, 2020. This is John Frenaye, and this is your Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. An Edgewater home suffered extensive damage in a fire last night. At about 9:30 p.m., the Anne Arundel County Fire Department was dispatched to the 1600 block of Riverdale Road in Edgewater. The initial reports indicated that their occupants may have been trapped. Upon arrival, they found that the fire was already through the roof of the structure and all occupants were accounted for and out of the home. It took about 30 minutes to bring the fire under control, but police were ultimately called to deal with the homeowner who kept trying to re-enter the home as the firefighters were trying to put out the blaze. More on this story a little bit later today. You want to make sure you're checking out eyeonannapolis.net for all of that information. A civilian employee of the Anne Arundel County Sheriff's Office is out of a job. He's been fired because he interfered with a police call for service in Arnold on Thursday. On Thursday, January 16th, the Sheriff's Office learned that an incident happened at the Arnold Post Office at about 4:15 p.m. The Anne Arundel County Police were called to check on a vehicle in the parking lot, and the civilian employee with the Sheriff's Office, identified as Harry Neisner, who is a security guard, contacted the police dispatch, advised that he was an employee of the Sheriff's Office and that the car in question had already left the scene. Well, the county police officer continued his response, and when they arrived at the post office, he did determine that the vehicle was still on the scene and the lone occupant of the vehicle needed medical attention. It wasn't a major medical emergency, and ultimately that person was arrested for possession of drug paraphernalia, but it certainly could have been a lot worse. All of the civilian employees utilize the radio systems while at work at the circuit courthouse. However, they can only remove the equipment when authorized, and they're also not allowed to use them to insert themselves into police calls for service. In a statement, Sheriff Jim Frederick said the actions of the employee were unauthorized and could have jeopardized the police investigation, and that is unacceptable. He was terminated on Friday. Hey, you gotta love a great story. This is from the Rotary Club of Annapolis, and it's their breakfast group, which is actually a satellite of the Rotary Club of Annapolis, but they're putting up a bunch of little free libraries throughout the city. Now, the Little Free Library project began in Hudson, Wisconsin back in 2009 to make books readily available to underserved communities. They're typically housed in weatherproof mini libraries filled with books. And you check them out on the honor system. Take a book, leave a book. Now, the Rotary Breakfast Group has worked with the Mayor's Office as well as the Recreation and Parks Department to determine the first 12 locations for the Little Free Libraries. And Project Chair Donna Rotaro Stern says that she hopes that school-age children will enjoy the library, share the books, and develop a love of reading. It did get its seed money from a $2,000 grant from the Annapolis Rotary Club. Books to stock the libraries will be coming from the Parole Rotary Club and their Books for International Goodwill. So it's two Rotary organizations working together for a third, doing some great stuff for the local community. Hey, save this date on your calendar, March 12th, 2020 at Maryland Hall. It is the 5th annual Annapolis Ignite. It's sort of like a TED Talk Light. What they do is they give 17 speakers 5 minutes to speak, and they have 20 pre-timed slides that will just scooch across, and that will get underway at 7 p.m., and you can check out eyeonannapolis.net for a list of the speakers, but some of the ones that I'm really interested in seeing is Chanel Compton about Black Museums Matter, Dr. Michael Friedman, who actually is with Evolve Medical Clinics, he's my doctor, on how to survive an apocalyptic healthcare system, Marissa Jackman, how we prevent rape, Derek Matthews, falling down and getting back up, and Chris McCleary, corporate partnerships and public housing. Those are just 5 of the ones that I'm very interested in, but there's a bunch of great topics, and that's always a fun night. Tickets are $10. You can get them at igniteannapolis.com. And speaking of Maryland Hall, coming up in the next week or so, there are 2 very powerful films set to screen down at the Bowen Theater at Maryland Hall, and these are all part of the Goldstein Kunitz Center of Film at New Media at Maryland Hall. The first one is Sunday, January 26th, and it's a film called Nobody Wants Us. It gets underway at 7 p.m., and it's a film that tells the story of 3 teenagers and their families hoping to make it safely to the United States after escaping the Nazi invasion in Europe. They will have a panel discussion on that film afterwards. And on Friday, January 31st at 7:30 p.m., I'm Not Leaving. And when the 1994 Rwandan genocide broke out, Carl Wilkins was the only American to stay. Wilkins will be there for a panel discussion after the documentary, talking about his time there, and he'll also talk about recent visits to Rwanda to see what has happened. You can get more information and tickets for both of these at marylandhall.org. If you didn't get a chance to check out our Legacy Business Spotlight this weekend, it was a fun one with Solar Energy Services up in Millersville. We talked with Rick Peters, who's the president of the company. They've got more than 40 years of experience, and we talked about the first solar project in Baltimore in the 1800s. Yes, you heard that right. To their growth and his thoughts on the future of clean energy. We also talked a little bit of turkey to find out what it costs, how to go about it, how long does it take to repay it, and actually, surprisingly, how easy Anne Arundel County is to work with. You can check out eyeonannapolis.net and see that, or the best way actually to do it is just subscribe to the Daily News Brief, and it should come to you immediately on Saturday. All right, finally, the February 2nd Super Bowl in Miami, the 54th Super Bowl, is decided. It looks like it is going to be the Kansas City Chiefs and the San Francisco 49ers. I had kind of hoped for a Green Bay and a replay of Super Bowl number 1, but it is the Kansas City Chiefs and the San Francisco 49ers. This has ended Kansas City's 50-year drought of being in the Super Bowl, and actually it'll be exactly 800 games since they won their last one. All right, that is about it for the top news today. It is Monday, so of course we have Anne Arundel with your Money Monday report. And as we have every day, we have George Young with your local DMV weather forecast. And all that's coming up in just 1 minute.
Whether it's Main Street, your street, or any street in the county that we all live in and love and call Anne Arundel, it's a special place. But part of living here is having a bank that provides what you need when you need it. So when your plans and dreams call for a bank, turn to us, your neighbor. We're Severn Bank, supporting the community that supports us. I'm Alan Hyatt, chairman of Severn Bank, and it's our honor to be the bank that serves the people of Anne Arundel County. One thing that we never forget is that as a member of this community, it's our responsibility to be committed to helping you and our county thrive. Like you, we live here, we work here, and we play here. Severn Bank, we're here with you.
Online at SevernBank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Severn Bank is a trade name used by Severn Savings Bank.
Going out? You need the most up-to-date local weather. Here's George Young from DMV Weather in Annapolis with today's forecast.
Hey everyone, this is George with DMV Weather, and this is your Eye on Annapolis forecast for Monday, January 20th. Happy MLK Day to everyone. Yesterday was a chilly one, but at least sunny and fairly comfortable following Saturday's super low-end, boring, and ultimately wet winter weather event. The week ahead then should be fairly stable and sunny, though cold and breezy today, with highs in the 30s, with wind chills in the 20s following AM lows today in the teens and 20s. Then another cold day in the 30s tomorrow, but with light winds, before more sunshine and highs near 40 on Wednesday, ahead of 44 to 49 degrees, and a fair amount of sunshine Thursday and Friday, before more rain and 46 to 53 Saturday, with a sunny ending to the weekend Sunday with highs 45 to 52. Okay, that's it for today. This is George Young of DMV Weather. Make it a great day out there, and be sure to get our free app on all of your devices by searching the Apple or Google app stores for DCMD VA Weather, and also follow us on Facebook and Twitter and on our website at dmvweather.com so you can always stay weather informed.
Hey, Annapolis, Eastern Shore, and Anne Arundel County. My name's Rick Peters, and I'm the president of Solar Energy Services in Millersville, Maryland. Need a new job in the new year to help take you in a different direction? Maybe you aren't feeling fulfilled in your current job and want to be part of the excitement and growth of the clean energy industry. Consider coming to work for Solar Energy Services and give yourself a new career and fresh start at a company that not only offers competitive pay and benefits, but also cares about our employees as much as we care about our customers. That says a lot because we've been in business for over 40 years and we know how to provide 5-star service. Visit solarsaves.net or call 410-923-6090 today. We are hiring immediately for solar installers, drafting specialists, and commercial project managers as we prepare for another great year. Are you up for the challenge? Apply today. Sunshine's a-wasting.
Sunshine, sunshine, nothing else can make me feel so fine.
Your money, managing and investing it can be confusing and sometimes scary. Here to help you put your financial picture into focus is Anne Arundel from CovingtonAlsina with your Monday Money Report.
This is Anne Arundel of CovingtonAlsina with your Monday Money Report. We continue to see new highs in the market. Last week, the Senate passed the USMCA, the trade deal with Canada and Mexico that will replace NAFTA. China and the U.S. signed the Phase 1 trade agreement. and the first week of corporate earnings reports has been largely positive, which is a good indicator of a strong economy. Retail sales rose in December, and unemployment remains at historically low levels. If all of this economic news makes you want to get your financial life in order, working with a professional can be a good approach. Just like a trainer helps you focus your workouts, a financial advisor can help you make wiser choices with your money. But how do you find one? Start by figuring out what kind of help you want. Do you want someone just to manage your investments, or a planner who will help with health insurance, estate planning, taxes, and so on, in addition to investments? Once you know that, ask around. Don't just ask for a recommendation. Ask what kind of service your friend receives from their advisor. If you want a planner, is your friend's advisor actively planning for them and updating that plan at every meeting? Did your friend call for advice the last time they received a job offer and negotiated it? Have they been available to review health insurance options during open enrollment? Once you have some names, do your research. Google the advisors, check out their websites, and be sure to run a broker check on them. Go to www.finra.org. That's www.finra.org and type in their name. A long list of complaints or any terminations, suspensions, or fines should be a red flag. Then, interview several advisors. Some things to look for include how long they've been in the industry. Look for someone who has been through a market downturn and had time to learn some of the nuances of managing money. Ask about additional certifications or designations they've earned. The licensing tests that allow someone to manage money don't focus on financial planning. They're more about the regulations and laws that govern the industry. A certified financial planner professional, or someone who has earned the CFP designation, has gone well beyond that. The certification requires a bachelor's degree, 8 additional courses, and a test that covers employee benefits, home and auto insurance, Social Security, estate planning, business formation, and taxes. The designation also requires ongoing continuing education. Another thing to talk about is how the advisor gets paid and how transparent they are about that. Next week, we'll discuss the difference between commissioned and fee-based advisors and the legal standards they operate under. A final point is how much you like the advisor. If you're looking for a planner, you want someone you feel comfortable sharing milestones with. Job changes, births, deaths, marriage, divorce, or a significant illness are all things that impact you financially, and times you need to include your advisor. If you don't like them, it becomes harder to develop that partnership. If you're interested in learning more, our calendar of educational events for 2020 is up on our website, www.CovingtonAlsina.com/events. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advice offered through Great Valley Advisor Group, a registered investment advisor. Covington Alsina and Great Valley Advisor Group are separate entities from LPL Financial. All performance reference is historical and is no guarantee of future results. All indices are unmanaged and may not be invested into directly. This information is not intended to be a substitute for specific individualized tax advice. The opinions voiced in the show are for general information only, are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. To determine which strategies or investments may be appropriate for you, consult with your attorney, accountant, and financial advisor or tax advisor prior to investing. And if you don't have a financial advisor, come talk to us. This is Anne Arundel with CovingtonAlsina.
When you think of Watermark, you probably think of Harbor Queen. You know, the big white boat that sits down at the end of City Dock. But did you know that Harbor Queen is much more than just a visitor attraction? That thousands of local school children take field trips aboard it every year to learn about the Chesapeake Bay and our region's history. But that's not all you don't know about Watermark. When the Susquehanna River crested, washing thousands of tons of debris into our waterways, Watermark was there, rolling up their sleeves, helping the Annapolis Harbor Master clean up Ego Alley. And when the Annapolis Police Department SWAT team needed a boat to conduct special training exercises on to help protect our waters, they called Watermark. Watermark, making our mark. To learn more about how Watermark is here for our hometown, visit watermarkjourney.com.
You've been listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Tell your friends and colleagues this is the podcast where you can keep up on the latest with what's going on in Annapolis. And also tell them about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find even more information. This podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at 7 a.m., keeping you informed with the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. And take a moment to listen to our other podcast, The Maryland Crabs, released every Thursday at noon.